Nagma has an important appointment with a big commercial bank in Norway. After several refusals, she is there once again seeking credit. Moving from Pakistan, she settled in Europe 7 years ago in order to start a sewing workshop. In Europe, only 30% of women launch businesses. Therefore, like for other entrepreneurs, it is not easy for Nagma to access finance and is part of the many problems faced by entrepreneurs in starting or developing their enterprise. Nagma needs 50,000 Norwegian crowns, a little over 6,000 euros, in order to buy sewing machines, fabric and other supplies. The clothing that she produces sells better and better.
Okay, maybe I think next time I can få den lån. Yeah. Okay.
However, Nagma was unable to obtain her credit.
They refused. It was third time. I applied two times before, but because of this I have no credit, so they refused. What can I do? I have no chance.
Just a question of bad luck? Not really. Women continue to suffer a negative image in the eyes of bankers. This is one of the reasons why Uni Beat created NCN, Network Credit Norway, in 1997 in Oslo. This institution allows those excluded from the banking and financial systems to receive both individual and group loans of relatively low amounts. This is microcredit. In Europe, it's usually loans below 25,000 euros. But NCN offers other services as well, like savings programs and entrepreneurial training. Within this framework, Uni meets groups of women, like this one in Drammen, once a month, to help them with the paperwork for a loan request or to give lessons on marketing, economics or communication.
Full of confidence.
Since Network Credit Norway began, it has managed to help more than 800 people.
We see that many women, in particular, have lack of access to loans in Norway. In fact, a study done in 2002 among women entrepreneurs, both immigrants and Norwegian women, showed that about 50% thought that they couldn't get access to a bank loan for their enterprise purpose. So there's a real need for microfinance access in Norway, although it's the richest country in the world. So this is a big question for us, how we can do this in a better way.
In the land of the Vikings, microfinance is relatively new and appeared only about 15 years ago in the Lofoten Islands amongst groups of women. Microfinance is emerging in the country as a powerful tool promoting social inclusion in the labour market. To develop a cultural centre, Antonietta took out 3 loans from Network Credit Norway for a total of 200,000 Norwegian crowns, 25,000 euros, used predominantly to pay for advertising expenses and to pay for rent of her classrooms. For the past 3 years, La Casa Latina has been making a profit and Antonietta can live off her revenue.
We have a very short life, so we had to try to have or to do the things that we want to do. Sometimes it's not easy, but if we try very hard, we can do it. And also because you are, when you are a productive person, so you don't depend economically by your husband, so you are independent. And that is important for me, to be an independent woman and to do the things I really like.
Every month, Antonietta pays back her loan at the Cultura Bank, an ethical and social bank that, with the Microinvest Foundation, finances the projects selected by NCN. Cultura Bank supports enterprises that have an ecological, social or cultural approach.
In the beginning, of course, and others know that part better than me, I guess it was very hard to find financing because just here comes a woman who wants something but has no credit and nobody who believes it. So how do you start out? I guess that is the big problem for many, that they don't have a history, they don't have the relations. We experience many times that the projects presented by women are better founded, maybe more realistic. And why is that? Maybe because women are more risk adverse. That is just a theory of mine, that they often you see a man wants to do something, he wants to do something big.
While most loans in Europe are individual, some group approaches have also been tried. Tucked away in a green corner of northern Norway, Gerd's hostel has been welcoming tourists for the past 2 years. Gerd lost her job 5 years ago where she was working in airport administration. She first restored one old farmhouse, followed by a second. Now she is able to accommodate people throughout the year.
I have a little dream that maybe I can find another old house to put on my farm, and then I can have a second guest house. That'd be nice. And if I find an old house, because it has to be an old house, I will need a loan, yes.
Gerd would like to obtain a loan from outside normal banking channels in order to improve her range of services. So she has joined a group of women known as the Gründer Girls, the Enterprise Girls. This group has existed for 4 years now and is composed of 7 women. It belongs to a government programme, Innovation Norway. The government allocates slightly more than 40,000 euros to the group for lending, for consulting services and for training. All this for an indefinite period. Each member of the group is required to have her own project. Britta is restoring an old family house dating from 1865. She wants to turn it into a tourist hostel.
Det å kunne bruke noe av de kompetansemidlene vi har for å gå på kurs, og for å utvide horisonten litt, for å få kunnskaper om de forskjellige temaene som er viktige i fortsettelsen av med prosjektet som vi holder på med.
Diversifying her business is essential for this breeder. The extra income from the tourist sector will make a good supplement in order that she can maintain her flock of around 50 animals. The members of the group meet once a month to share their experiences and to discuss their needs. Bitten works on a farm where she raises milking cows and cuts firewood. At the end of the day, she begins her second occupation, offering trips to the woods for groups of young people and collecting natural objects to make into common objects.
Jeg tenker å ta et lite lån for å kjøpe en maskin, for å kunne gjøre grovarbeidet på den, og så kunne videreutvikle håndverket for unger. Tilrettelegge bedre. Jeg hadde lyst til å være i en gruppe for å utvikle et konsept, både å lære av andre og gi andre input til sine prosjekt.
Such groups have existed all over Norway for 25 years. It is an original form of microcredit, but also and above all a form of mutual self-help and solidarity.